Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret Raccoon podcast, episode 89. I am Ace.
And I'm the Raccoon.
And we're getting near the end of May here.
We're pretty much, by the time this podcast goes up, which is, I believe, the 28th.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's the 28th.
Yeah.
Which should be a Monday. It'll pretty much be the end of May.
My concerns from the last podcast are still, prevalent, that it's already nearly halfway through the year.
By podcast 90, it's going to be the halfway point of the year.
It's, as I said last time, it's still scary for me. It's gone by way too quick. I don't like it.
I don't like this progression of speed, basically.
Exactly. Something's happened. I think I'm getting old.
Things have changed.
Yeah, exactly.
The world is changing.
Too rapidly, too much, too fast.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, we're back for podcast. We're recording this slightly earlier on because for most Londoners and people who are of all fandoms, the London Comic Con is happened.
Yeah.
We're not going to give any details as to when this podcast has actually been recorded, but Comic Con is happening. That's one of the bigger things to happen in this country regarding those things, so that should be fun. If you were there, it'd be really cool if you let us know. Maybe you might have seen us there. You probably shouldn't because you don't know what we look like, but
unless they've been watching all your trip videos.
Well, even then, that's only a vague image of me 5 times.
I recognise half his face. That's the guy.
That's the guy. You know, he's dressed like a girl, but I still remember him. That's the guy.
Yeah.
If you have that kind of a memory, then props to you. But yeah, if you are at Comic-Con, do enjoy yourself. Hopefully it's going to be fun. No idea what the weather was like, but hoping it's good. Ace, how have you been over the last 2 weeks or so?
Pretty much sleeping. It's been a very dazed 2 weeks for me. The song Daydream comes to mind.
By?
I can never remember the artist. I think it's very famous for the scene in Trainspotting where Ren falls backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, that scene. But I remember it from one of those animated movie thingies for for City of Heroes. It was just a joke one.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that was funny back then.
Okay, fair enough.
But I did manage to actually go out and see a film, which was Deadpool 2.
Yes, we've both seen Deadpool 2.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I think I saw it the day it came out because I somehow managed to get spoilers for stuff, unless it's the most obvious spoilery things. So Game of Thrones I'll avoid spoilers for.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that's just come out a day or two ago, and it's I might go see that, I'll get a spoiler somehow. So
almost like a curse.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Feels like it.
But I did really enjoy it. I think I liked it about the same as I did first one, but for different reasons. There were some things I think that improved and some things that there was issues I had with the first one that they made even more annoying in this one.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my brief view on it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really want to watch the first one again and just kind of compare them for the most part, because I came out enjoying this one, but there was quite a bit of disappointment I found with the film in terms of, I think my biggest come away from that was there were certain things that had a lot of potential and they didn't do enough with them. I'm not going to say what they are for the sake of it being a spoiler. Yeah. But overall, I think for a sequel, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. Really, really enjoyed the film. I think it is kind of on par with the first one in some sense, and I have no idea what they're going to do with any potential sequel, given that anything could happen now.
They'll have him fight Thanos.
Maybe.
It'll somehow happen.
Maybe that's why Infinity War Part 2 is taking so long.
Exactly.
Got the Deadpool cut, where every character is just Deadpool.
Oh, no. You have a Deadpool Thanos.
I could see that happening.
It's just
Deadpool and Thanos do have a deep-rooted history in comic book lore.
Yeah, because they both want to marry Death.
Basically, yeah. Which is anything. But yeah, anything else you have to report?
That's really it. I got up to date with Legends of Tomorrow and all the other DC TV shows, which I think I sent you a clip from Legends of Tomorrow, and it was amazing.
I don't know what is going on in that series, but what I was like, is that Jonah Hex?
Yeah, Jonah Hex was there too, and Helen of Troy, the actual real life historical figure, was there.
Don't know who that is.
She's the one that there was the war in Troy, like between the Trojans and blah blah blah, because over her apparently, which is just a way of blaming Helen of Troy.
Okay.
Yeah, but very very good season. It's much improved. I think almost all of Arrow has improved this season.
I don't watch any of them because I don't really mess with DC.
Yeah,
because I don't think they know what they're doing.
Okay.
I honestly don't think they've ever known what they're doing for the last 20 years, honestly.
But they helped Elvis Presley battle ghosts with rock and roll.
No.
That was a great episode.
No.
It was amazing.
No, I'm not doing that.
They saved Barack Obama from Gorilla Grodd.
No, don't even bring up Gorilla Grodd on this podcast. This is the anti-Gorilla Grodd podcast, as you already know, the sub-name of it.
I'm pro Gorilla Grodd.
Well, then I think you need to leave then.
Bye. No, but it was those were fun stuff to watch, and that's basically all I got to do.
Fair enough. I've had a pretty rough couple weeks. Things have been getting super crazy, mainly with my work because World War III might start, and I don't know if it's going to start, so people at the work are kind of on edge, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully things settle down. I hardly managed to get anything. Obviously, I watched Deadpool 2, which I've already said my thoughts on. The only other thing I did was finally get around to beating Muramasa, the Demon Blade, or as it's known on the PS Vita, Rebirth, which is kind of like the re-release that I think released back in 2013 for the Vita. To think the Vita is that old.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you got one of the elusive 5 games of the Vita.
Yes. You know, as this once said, only the 5 richest kings of England can afford a, 62 gig memory stick for the Vita. And I think, you have to be a real wealthy person to be able to own something like that. But jokes aside, it's a really good game. I hadn't played it before. I played it briefly on the Wii U, which was what it was originally on, and having this port and having it in my hands and playing it, fantastic game. If you like a lot of Japanese mythos and folklore, the game is filled with that. You basically play as 2 different stories, a female character and a male character doing different stories. They kind of cross paths of the same map and basically a hack and slash RPG magic kind of game. Really good, really fun. Really interesting bosses, stories are pretty fun, and I have the DLC left to play, which is the main reason why the game got ported to the Vita, because they basically made the DLC for it. So that's pretty good. So I'll give you my thoughts on all 4 pieces of DLC when I eventually get round to playing them.
Wow.
Which I'm looking forward to.
No, I definitely enjoy. I mean, I guess the Japanese mythos from the name, because it's the sword, isn't it? Yeah, the legendary sword or sword maker, depending on... And the other one's Masamune. Yeah, the Masamune, which is... that's direct reference in there, obviously. Yeah, nice. You'll see a lot of folklore stuff and demons and spirits and stuff like that. Very accurate stuff, and it's such a beautiful looking game. It's Vanillaware. Oh, yeah, of course. It's going to look nice.
And given that they've made 3 games based on different points of fiction, so obviously this was Japanese folklore. Odin Sphere is based on the German story. Norse. I never remember its name, or loosely based. And then Dragon's Crown is basically fantasy RPG from the Western Age. Obviously. Very Dungeons and Dragons inspired. It's basically Dungeons and Dragons meets Golden Axe. And Frazetta's artwork, essentially. Kind of, yeah. I would say so much, because his, to some extent, his artwork moving. Yeah. If you want to go that way, it kind of does. Their work does actually look like artwork moving, because it does. It's crazy. Can't wait for the next game. They've just been porting everything to the PS4 and all the others, so hopefully the next game comes out soon, no matter what that is. So you've got no excuse to not buy it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's on the Vita. Everyone owns one of those. Oh yeah. I got mine yesterday. Yes, just before they cancelled the physical releases of PS Vita. God damn it. Yeah, they said that, but now, because that was a weird situation. They were like, oh, we're not doing physical copies for games, and now Sony's now contemplating still doing it, because apparently Japan is still going to get physical releases, but now they're contemplating what's going to happen with the Vita. They're like, people are like, oh, the Vita's dead, and Sony's like, the Vita's not dead.
Yeah.
Which is very weird, because they've been basically acting like it's been dead for the last 3 years, so I don't know what they have planned.
They finally remembered that they had it, and they were like, oh, the Vita!
The Vita!
That's what you're talking about.
Oh, I thought, oh, okay, alright. You should have said PS, and then we would have understood. Well, I don't know, people mentioning Vita. Live forever? What?
I thought you were just talking about life.
Yes, of course, we all live. Like, I don't know why you keep saying Vita.
PlayStation Live, you know?
PlayStation Live, that's the code name of PS5, which is apparently 3 years away, according to Sony. Well, less than 3 years, excuse me.
I'm sorry, but PS4 has not warranted its being next gen enough for there to be a PS5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There are some, and I'm going to say it again, some good games in the PS4, but there is not enough.
Well, that's the thing. The PS4 is essentially the PS3, but higher res.
Oh, yeah. The way I see it
loading.
is basically PS3 is 720, PS4 is 1080p. And I know people are going to say, no, it's not actually upscale with 60 frames per second with 2K. No, that's what it is, guys.
Yeah. Like, when you take it down.
When you really think about, that's what it is, yeah? If games on the PS2 were able to do 60 frames per second, there's nothing special when it comes to the PS4. And yes, that is an actual fact. There are games on the PS2 that could perform at 60 frames per second. It's nothing special. Just because you're a 12-year-old and you complain when a game runs at 25 frames or is locked at 30 or 45 doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll save that chatter for the E3 special, which should be coming up soon, because nobody knows what's going to happen. But all I know is there's going to be some bootleg stuff happening.
I'm excited.
You excited for bootleg?
I'm very excited for bootleg.
Okay, enough pimping of the special. Let's actually get onto the Fortnite, which I was not covering anything really. Like, almost everything kind of got put into the main section of the podcast, but I know you have a few things to chat about.
I have a few first one, I just want to say that apparently a special event happened in England. I wasn't too sure what it was. All I remember is getting some cakes to tell me about it, being the royal wedding. My biggest thoughts I have to say on this is, you're an awesome guy, Jeremy Corbyn. Thank you for not sending congratulations to the couple. You're the only politician who did it by not sending something.
Jeremy Corbyn is too busy hacking the nation, working on that manifesto.
Oh, yeah.
Getting ready for that mixtape. With like Stormzy and Wiley and whatever.
No, he's playing the good boy game.
He's working on them features.
Yeah. So that's really all I have to say about the royal wedding. I had some nice homemade cakes.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't think we really need to say anything about the royal wedding, because every American knows about the royal wedding.
Yeah. I think they care about it more than the English do.
They do.
It's crazy.
They really do.
I don't get why.
And the Canadians. They're the only people, the Canadians, the English, and the Americans are the only people who care about the royal wedding, which is quite interesting when you look at that triangle. Yeah. But I'm not going to delve into that.
Celebrating an antiquated monarchy that's only there for tourism.
What?
Horrible.
Anyway, keep going.
The more important thing that happened was the release of everyone's favourite emotional game, Detroit Become Human. Detroit
Become Human, a title that I often think there's a word missing from that title.
I know, something's wrong about it.
Detroit Become Human?
It's so French. That's the problem. Like,
just put a le somewhere.
Detroit Become Le Human.
Become the human.
It works so much better.
Yeah, it really does.
But that happened, and I'm seeing some of the screenshots so far, and I'm going to be watching a playthrough, because I'm not paying 55 quid for that garbage.
No.
So
I only watched the demo, to which I already formulated a better story, which I told you about.
You did. What
the game should actually be about if you weren't a hack writer, or they weren't hack writers.
Yeah.
But I've seen some screenshots, and I'm loving the new kind of meme that's kind of going around where it's just taking the options, just freeze framing on an image, which obviously many games have done this before, but there's something about this which is
special kind of bad.
It's so poignant, I think might be the right word, where you're just kind of like, ooh, it just works. It works. It has the kick. Unlike other games, because I mean everyone's forgotten about Beyond Two Souls. That we can bury that one.
Oh yeah.
But something about this where you're just like, ooh, potential.
Amazingly bad.
Not the game.
Yeah.
That as a meme, which we might talk about next week.
But yeah, I'm probably going to talk about this more when I've watched the whole playthrough, because I'm finding it so fascinating, and sometimes when there's something bad, you're just drawn to it to find out why it's so bad.
Equal rights for androids.
I have a dream. That bit got me so much.
Look that up, guys, if you don't know what we're referring to. Look at some screenshots of some of the options you can say, because that's what we're mainly ripping on. There is some backwards stuff in this game that has so many social and political and cultural issues.
I know.
I don't even know where to start. Like, I think this game is actually going to offend every race.
Not even just race, like every ideology.
Most likely.
Because it's not going to get anything right.
I'm looking at some of these options and I'm like, did Kanye West write this? Like, what is going on?
The closest thing to people liking it is probably going to be like liberals or centrists. You know, scumbags. I'm joking. You're not as bad as some of the other people, you know, a bit to the right here. But yeah. You have bad taste.
Good film. But I'll talk about the film Bad Taste a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But
Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
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 It's currently on Amazon, by the way. People.
Oh, go watch Bad Taste.
Just seeing that like, the picture.
Go watch Bad Taste.
Let's
go watch Bad Taste. Anyway, anything else?
That's basically it.
Yeah, the royal wedding was mainly the big thing. Let's move on to our news and topics, and we have quite a doozy of stuff. The first thing we want to talk about is the absolute outrage that ThunderCats Raw was announced, which is another reboot to the AT series ThunderCats, for some people might know, and technically, given how people have reacted, apparently is the only version that exists. I mean, people being way too mean to this series. Like, I understand where the hatred is coming from, and I'm going to get to that. But I mean, yes, nobody asked for a reboot of ThunderCats. I kind of do and don't understand. Like, where the reboot is coming from is kind of the wrong place to some extent. But I do like how a lot of people have clearly forgotten the 2011 remake of ThunderCats, which
has a beautiful artistic direction.
Which, in my opinion, was stronger than the original series.
Hell yes, the original was so generic.
The original series, other than the opening, was a bit of a damp squib. Sometimes, not all the time. The last episode where Mumra kills everyone, that's great, but...
Well, it's furry He-Man, and He-Man wasn't even good.
Which one? I can't remember which one came out first.
He-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the animation of ThunderCats was way better, and I think ThunderCats is aged a little bit better, despite looking more 80s. Because you can bring ThunderCats back, but you can't bring He-Man back.
Did you see the film with Dolph Lundgren?
No, we don't need to talk about. We don't need to talk about that film. I don't want to talk about He-Man in a pink Cadillac, and you're gonna try and tell me he's not gay.
Oh, he's He-Man. He's like the most I've forgotten what the term is. Homoerotic character of all time. I know,
but still, that's the issues that have most likely happened at Warner Brothers when they've gone, we should bring back He-Man, and they've gone, no.
Nah, he's too gay. We can't do that.
They've probably literally just said he's too gay.
Yeah. That's
not gonna work with children.
They should just do a full-blown like complete gay He-Man. It'd be brilliant.
They did a series. This is my cartoon knowledge kicking in. They did a series. I can't remember where. It might have been Canadian or some other country, where there was a superhero kid, and he basically was the superhero alter ego was a female.
Shizao.
Was it Shizao?
Yeah, Shizao.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was surprised to learn about that too.
That's an interesting show. You should do something more like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand scariness is different.
Oh yeah.
And I think people need to give this show a chance. It doesn't come out until next year. And I mean, here's the thing. And I'm gonna reassure people, and you guys have to trust me on this, because as we all know, I'm right on 80% of things when I say things. This show will not be as bad as Teen Titans Go or I always forget the name, Mighty Magisword. I don't even know what that is. You don't want to know what that is, because people have seen this and they've just turned ThunderCats into a Teen Titans Go. And yes, it is Warner Brothers. Yes, it's kind of coming from the same direction, because it's now a beloved franchise turned into a Western chibi reboot comedy take
Which honestly doesn't seem that bad to me.
Doesn't well. I would say of the 3 bads, if you want to include that one, I think ThunderCats Go is already coming out on top.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to say because I'm just trying to think because I had the exact thing to say. Yes, I don't think it's going to be. It is most likely going to be a comedy. If you watch the link in the description and the download link, you see. I think first of all that promo video was not a great start. But I'm gonna get to that in a second. Yeah. It's not going to be as bad because I don't think it is going to be a straight up comedy.
Okay.
I think that this is going to be another take on ThunderCats, where Teen Titans Go failed in actually being what the show is about, where every character is stupid and unlikable and nothing happens. I think something will happen in ThunderCats Raw. Yeah. I think what we're going to have is a blend of comedy and action. Just go look at the fantastic opening they've already done. The opening is great. And as the guy explains, it explains the whole story of ThunderCats in a comedic and action pace. I mean, were they cracking jokes in that trailer? Kind of. There were a few. But they were at the expense of the main villain, mainly. And I think Mumra is going to be the comedic relief. I think the worst we're going to get with this series is that instead of them actually roaring, they're going to be out like house cats.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst we're going to get.
So... straight from the outrage, I could smell BO and basement sweat. Because, like, seriously, okay, it's fucking ThunderCats. I've never given a shit about my ThunderCats.
I like ThunderCats, but I'm not having a fit.
Yeah, like, the 2011 reboot, fine, looked nice. I didn't really watch it, but from what I've heard, it's great. This one, it actually looks really cute, adorable, and fun, and it has an Adventure Time vibe.
I like the style, honestly.
I have no issues.
Like there's only 2 things that kind of worry me, and I'm a bit disappointed that they didn't redesign the characters.
Yeah.
I'm a bit annoyed that they're the original 80s designs. Yeah. I would have liked just a little bit more. Like was it Chitra? I think she has a slight redesign where her hair is like in a bit of a pompadour. Okay. And I wish they'd gone a little bit more with some of them, just change up the hairstyles. And I mean, but I think, like I said before, I think the style really works. I think it's really nice. I think it's really cute to look at. I want a keyring. I want a button of those characters.
It's fine.
It looks nice. I think in terms of stylistic, I think it looks great. The one thing that's really bothering me is Lionel's voice.
Okay.
I know it's a parody of the heroic, proud hero. You know, I'm going to save the day.
But it's
too much.
Yeah.
It's like, even in that trailer, that was too much for me. I was already getting annoyed with his voice.
It needs to sound more childish.
I do not want that voice saying thunder, thunder, thunder. Like, that's gonna get annoying.
Oh no.
Like that they need to change that voice, or he only says the line to release the sword in that voice.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be too much. Like I said, I know what you're going for, but you guys, you really need to change that voice.
Just tone it down a bit.
You don't have to get rid of the voice actor. Just tell him to tone it down.
Yeah.
Same, because that's gonna get annoying, and people slam the show because of that one voice. Unfortunately, I haven't even heard the rest of them. I mean, the original was it Snarf is there, and everyone hates Snarf from the original series. That's why in the reboot he didn't talk.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do with him. Are they going to make him annoying, or are they just going to keep him as like a side character, which he should be?
I think they're going to make him annoying, but it's going to be endearing, and people will actually love him.
My guess is they're just going to like meow and they're going to act like house cats, and that's going to be the main joke. And then Mumra's going to be like, "Oh, I can't beat those ThunderCats. My bumbling buffoon idiots villains can't do anything." And he just sits on his high castle and he's just like, "Oh, I'm reading a newspaper about ThunderCats."
Are you going to give him a pyramid instead? I feel like they'll give him a pyramid.
With an eye at the top, yeah.
Yeah.
No, didn't the main villain who gave him the power have that?
I can't remember.
Well, the sword technically has an eye in it, so there's your conspiracy theory right there, guys.
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed, 1981 ThunderCats.
But moving away from some man-baby outrage to some actual rage.
Mutant man-baby outrage.
So Bethesda has been teasing for a while, and they finally announced it with 2 trailers. The reappearance of the Rage series with Rage 2.
A series no one really wanted to return.
Yeah, the first game was very, very pretty.
It's a damp squib.
But yeah, the gameplay failed hard. The narrative was...
There was a story?
It was unoriginal and didn't end.
I don't actually think there was a story, to be honest.
Oh, no, there was, but it's literally the point of, you beaten the bad guy, that's it. No conclusion.
I just remember, like, a door opening and then the game ended.
Yeah, exactly. There was no end.
And I literally remember beating that because my friend was literally, like, calling me on Xbox Live and he was like, My Little Pony's going to be on in 15 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to beat this game. And then I beat it and then I watched My Little Pony.
And it had a better story.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Well, yeah, so Rage 2, with its new artistic direction from its boring browns and greys of the previous game to its very bright pinks and oranges. And it looks like it's embracing the more modern Mad Max craziness.
Punk aesthetic vibe, anarchy, big time. I mean, the live action announcement trailers was a little bit cheesy with the...
I kind of like that.
But I think that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the design and the costume design of the characters was great when I was kind of like, oh, okay, you know, but when I saw the gameplay, I was like, oh,
yeah.
Doom 4.5.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm honestly fine with that.
And it being the people from Avalanche Studios who made they made the recent Mad Max, which I actually enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I know the driving's going to be good as hell.
It needs to be.
And even the melee combat was nice in that, so I'm very intrigued.
It's promising.
Yeah.
I just hope we get a little bit more come E3, which I'd imagine this is what this is. This is just a, don't worry guys, Rage 2 will be there.
Just like maybe an actual gameplay demo.
Yeah, something that
cool.
actually gives us a little bit more of a taste, you know, show off some of the features, and because there was a lot of potential in Rage,
Yeah.
and because that's the weird thing with Bethesda when they well, let's just say id,
Yeah.
the core id stuff, they really have been fine crafting that stuff. Like it almost feels like they've been brewing this stuff for like a good 8 to 10 years. Like Doom, they were working on that forever, and then you had what's the Unreal Tournament, which they were crafting. They were like, we are going to make the best multiplayer game ever. And obviously with Rage now, it looks like it almost feels like since that game came out, they read those reviews and went, guys, we need to make the next one that visionary this was supposed to be. And just given with this very small, this could be what everyone was expecting with Far Cry 5.
That would be
nice. This could be the shooter of the year. And I don't say that often.
I'm looking forward to that, if so.
I mean, I'm really excited for this game, honestly.
Yeah, just need a little more, and I'm interested.
Yeah, like I said, we need that demo, and then we need that like sold, because when we saw that Doom 4 demo, I think everyone was like, yes, that's Doom.
Actually, I actually remember us talking about the Doom, the recent Doom, talking about the demo. And all of the issues we actually talked about were addressed and changed.
Yeah, they changed it there, because I remember I was like, oh, I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
I'm liking...
It's like, the animation goes on too long, and they quickened that up. And I was like,
they
nice.
So that's why I'm talking about, like, with id and Bethesda, when it's that team, they seem to listen. Just, like, they are, like, out to make, not to sound too pretentious, they're out to make a game a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like a lot of the time with games nowadays, they come out unfinished. It feels like when they release a game, they go, the game is finished.
They want to polish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm not going to get upset about that, honestly.
Exactly.
It's a shame. Anyway, let's talk about a slightly more funner story. A very quick one as well. Obviously, we've talked about Deadpool 2, and Deadpool 2 is out in cinemas. Go see it if you're of the age. And
no, go if you. It's a family film.
It's a family. Actually, yeah, it's a family film. Rated U. Take the kids. They'll love it. And in the spirit of the fantastic advertising regarding Ryan Reynolds and Team Deadpool, we have another bit of fantastic marketing with DVD covers which have been, I guess, quote-unquote photobombed by Deadpool as they've been re-edited, reshot with a sleeve over them in order to promote the second film. And I haven't... maybe by the time we have the download link of this and the link in the description... I'm trying to find every single one.
Yeah.
I can't quite find it yet because I just want a link that just details every single one. I might have to use multiple links, but there's a good few. There's a good few.
Quite a lot.
And some of them are pretty damn good.
I think they're all Fox movies. I could be wrong though.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
They most likely will be Fox movies. But
it's just such a genius marketing gimmick.
I'm honestly surprised no one has really done it to this. Like, I think someone else has done it.
Yeah.
But to this degree, this is crazy. Yeah. This is like, you're talking about 9 hours in the photo booth.
Yeah.
Basically, and props to them, honestly.
Yeah. It's good meta comedy in the real world.
Big time, because it's something that you would probably see in a Deadpool comic or in the film.
Yeah. So you just go into a shop, you go pick up your film, and it's got Deadpool's face on it. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some people are like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Part of the point as well, I guess. Which is good. So brief one, go check those out. Go look at them. Maybe even grab some if you... I don't know if they've come to England, but if you live in America, go and grab some.
Definitely.
Big time.
Send them all to me.
I need them all. I need all the sleeves.
You can...
Someone's going to do that.
Ask me for my address at raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com, and you can send me them through there.
Yeah. Bitcoin only. Ace, I believe you have the first trailer. We're going to be talking about quite a few trailers. Yeah. And we're trying to speed through because, because we got a lot of trailers to take care of. One that was a big surprise.
Yeah, so the Freddie Mercury biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody, after the most famous Queen song. Recently the trailer came out, starring Rami Malek, everyone's favourite boy.
Mr. Robot.
As Freddie Mercury. Mm-hmm. I think it looked kind of... I'm trying to think... I had the right word in my head. It looks safe. It looks very safe to me.
That kind of makes sense because there's been a lot of issues with the making of this film, because originally Sacha Baron Cohen was meant to play Freddie Mercury, and the original pitch, which I don't know if I ever spoke about this on the podcast, the original pitch was that only half of the film was actually going to be about Freddie Mercury, and the other half was going to be about Queen going on to be a success.
Right.
So obviously there were squabbles because Sacha Baron Cohen was like, well, I thought I was in the whole film telling a biopic about Freddie Mercury. And they're like, no, we need to make this film about Queen. So the whole safe thing could make sense. But Rami is doing a damn fine job playing Freddie Mercury. I know there was a great quote about him. He stated, and I can't remember it exactly, I'll probably put it in the description, where he was basically talking about how this is definitely a career-defining role, where if he messes it up, he's done, but if he gets it right, he's done a good job. Yeah. And he seems to be taking this role very, very seriously, just through some of the movements, dancing, and some of the performances. They've definitely have him trained, and he is definitely... It looks like Freddie Mercury. Yeah. And I think that's what you need. I think it's probably going to be one of those films, once again, when you come out going, yep, Rami was the best. Everyone else was just... It was fine.
I think the guy doing Brian May, he looked actually good, though, as well.
Yeah. But we're not really going to see much of him.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely one of the things that I actually read an article, and it said that they weren't going to be addressing the whole AIDS pandemic, which, if I remember correctly...
So they were or they weren't?
They weren't going to address that. Which Freddie Mercury was very outspoken about. Seems kind of like...
Seems a bit dickish.
Yeah. Especially considering, as you just said, that half of it possibly going to be about Queen, the band. Yeah. So...
Yeah, because the problem is, the band Queen has been fighting with the studio and fighting with rights to make the film more about them and stupidness, which I don't really understand, because I mean they have some of the most overplayed and overrated songs of all time, so you're gonna get royalties anyway. So your money ain't going anywhere. Calm down, guys. You don't need to be greedy when you're already rich. You know what I mean?
I know, and you're still playing and still selling out.
Exactly. There's no need for this. Yeah. But I guess only time will tell, really. I'm pretty interested in the film. I probably won't watch it because I don't like Queen, but I'm interested though, honestly, and that's saying something.
I am a big Queen fan.
You get out.
And I probably I might see it because Rami Malek.
Oh, I think we all need to see it for Rami.
Yeah, but other than that. So much has put me off from wanting to watch the film. Oh,
there's I think they need to make a film about the making of this film. Yes, depending on how it turns out, that would be interesting. It'll be like Jodorowsky's Doom.
Oh yeah,
what could have been. Which definitely look up Jodorowsky's Doom because that could have been the most that was the most ambitious film I think that never happened.
Watch David Lynch's Dune and then watch Jodorowsky's Dune.
Oh, you'll be like, what is too much creativity? Put it away.
Yeah, it'd be very intriguing.
Oh, I need to properly watch that film. Next film we're talking about is a very questionable film, and I imagine it's one that a lot of people are going to tread carefully. This is definitely going to be next to Black Panther. You didn't like it? Well, then you're a racist.
Oh, no.
Which is basically what Black Panther became after Get Out.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you didn't like Black Panther, then you must be a racist. We're talking about Blackkklansman.
Or Black K Klansman, depending on how you want to say it.
I'm going to use English and say Black Klansman. Directed by Spike
Lee. Spike Jones?
I can't remember one of them.
Did Spike Jones do Old Boy remake?
No.
Okay, then I think it's Spike Jones. I can't remember which
I don't
one.
know.
Yeah.
The one that's mad, basically.
Yeah.
And looks like he is a fat version of one of the guys from Run DMC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The Madman, basically. And interesting premise, surprise that Adam Driver's in another film.
Yeah.
Got to get out of that Star Wars somehow, because everyone's trying to leave Star Wars.
I've seen him in so many films in the past few years.
Because he's trying to get out of Star Wars, that's why.
It. Like, he was my favourite part of Logan Lucky.
Yeah, he needs to get out. Everyone's getting out of Star Wars. John Boyega. I mean, unfortunately, that Pacific Rim Uprising didn't do too well, but...
I didn't see that, unfortunately.
Nobody saw that. It was one of those films where it was like open weekend, and everyone was like, no.
It looks so colourful, that's why I want to watch it.
No.
I like the colour.
In in the words of Mike Slocasa from Red Letter Media, no, I will not be watching that film.
In the words of Ace of the podcast, I like the colour.
Well, Blackkklansman is an interesting film because the basic premise of it is that we have a rookie detective kind of coming in, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to take down the Ku Klux Klan. I'm going to pose as one of them, but I need the white guy to go in and be... I'm gonna give him all the information, and we're going to take down the Ku Klux Klan. And meanwhile, you got like the Black Power, possibly the Black Panther movement kind of going on. So you have like a very black and white power struggle going on. And the film is interesting, but I have a feeling that this is just bait.
Yeah. Well, I already saw a whole bunch of like people getting angry in the comments for the trailer.
Well, that's the point,
I know.
I think, of the film.
Well, I wouldn't say that's the point of the film. I definitely say that it's hilarious that people can't even dislike the KKK. Like, people are saying, no, you can't do this, you're attacking white people. I'm like, it's the KKK, you dumbasses.
A quick fact check. The KKK don't just hunt black people, by the way.
I know.
They're not just all about getting rid of black people. They are only interested in the pure white race. There's other things that they delve into, but you can be Jewish and white, they'd probably still go after you.
Well, yeah, even shows that during the trailer of this, they're asking like, okay, we're going to give you a lie detector test. Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
And it's like...
They're not interested in anyone besides themselves. It's just like, I think it's just a bit easy that it is, just with black people, and I can see how this film is obviously going to end, but I mean, it could be interesting.
If it doesn't end with a shoot-up killing all the KKK, I'll be dissatisfied.
I hope that they've watched Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
That's all I think that's the best note to say. I hope they have watched Inglourious Bastards, because there is nothing more satisfying than the ending of Inglourious Bastards.
It's a glorious, glorious moment.
Pretty much. Final two trailers we have.
I do just want to say my favourite line in that trailer was, you can do anything if you've got the right white guy. And it was just a brilliant line.
It is an interesting film. I don't know how it's going to do. It looks like it's going to be like a low-key film.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like I said, it's probably going to be the next You Didn't Like This, You're Racist kind of film. But yeah, and obviously it won't win the Academy Awards, so, racist.
Well, I think the next trailer's not going to win any awards.
No.
The Academy one.
No.
So I've actually been interested in this film for a while, and I actually told a raccoon about it. And because back then it sounded a bit simpler, a bit more nicer.
What was the original concept of, what should we name drop it here real quick?
Yes, the Happytime Murders. Essentially, it was originally going to be a film noir played straight with Muppets. Simple, perfect, and essentially a mixture of Roger Rabbit with like Muppets in New York, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so simple, so original. But instead it's turned into a raunchy sex comedy that you'd expect Seth MacFarlane to come up with. Or Seth Rogen.
Mm.
A lot of Seths.
Seth Rogen wouldn't make anything like that.
Sausage Party.
We didn't make it.
Didn't he? I thought he made it.
I think he partly wrote something, but I wouldn't say he made it.
But yeah, that's what this new one is, including with funny foam ejaculate, which is like silly string. That's it.
Son, I am disappointed.
Oh, I know.
Like, I had so many issues. Like this had so much potential. Like, the thing is, if you wanted to do a noir puppet film, taking inspiration from Roger Rabbit, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you just rip off Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that's when I have issues. I have big time issues with people who touch Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Big time. And this was so disappointing, especially coming from the son of Jim Henson, who is one of the higher producers of this film. And it's clear that there were reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely go and watch this trailer, and I would say watch it a few times. The quality of puppetry is all over the place. Like, there are some impressive shots of puppetry, and there's just some ones are garbage. Like, the main character looks crap.
Mm-hmm.
My God, it looks rubbish.
Again, as you just said, it looks like it's clearly changed halfway through production.
Yeah, it's I don't know what is going on here. It just doesn't look good. And, I mean, it just makes me go as a rip-off Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Do you know what was a more impressive film than this, which this film is basically ripping off?
I was going to say Cool World, but it's not ripping off that.
I don't even want to talk about Cool World. Meet the Feebles.
I don't think I've heard of that. Peter
Jackson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think he did that either before or just after Bad Taste.
Yeah.
Meet the Feebles is not a film I would 100% recommend to people because it is disgusting and it is literally what this film is trying to be. It's trying to offend you. Oh, it's raunchy puppets. This film's messed up.
Go watch it with your kids, just like Deadpool.
No, this film is like messed up. Like, yeah, it's like it's done in a way where it can have something that will offend you, but it's done in a comedic sense. But it is like pretty disgusting in a lot of sense. Like, you name it, it is in the film, basically.
Okay.
You know, when the lead star of The Feebles is literally dying of AIDS, and he is dying of AIDS horribly, and they make fun of the fact that, I'm like, there's a journalists are like, I'm gonna publish the thing that you were doing all this and you were doing all that, and he's literally like, he's like, their depiction of AIDS or whatever he has is absolutely disgusting, presented on a puppet. Like, it's not nice. It gets to the point where it looks like he's fucking melting.
That's grim. It
is pretty grim, but then again, should use protection, I guess. But then again, that's the joke. He's a rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some pretty disgusting stuff. Like, you know, obviously, I don't think. Let me just put it this way: I don't think the Happytime Murders is going to make several references to the porn industry or rape. Simply put, because if you really wanted to go out there, that's what you do.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do something with Muppet porn, because there was Muppet prostitutes.
Yeah, but I doubt it's going to go that far, because I'd imagine the person who said you need to make this into a generic film is probably going to go, wait a minute, you can't go too far. Remember, this is a film for the kids.
I don't think it's trying to be for the kids.
I bet you any money this film is only rated 12A. Because they're going to bring it down, because the only reason they changed this film is because they went, a puppet noir film, that's too generic, no one's going to see this. Get Woman Who Screams to star alongside the
Melissa
puppet.
McCarthy's in it. And
I don't mind Melissa McCarthy, but like,
she just plays
not for her.
herself.
Not for her.
Yeah.
She can do better than this.
She could.
And I know she can.
I still remember her in Gilmore Girls. That was
that's a review.
Ace and Raccoon take on Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, take on Gilmore Girls. Pilot episode. But yeah, just really disappointing, because I mean, you had so much potential to do with this, and the puppetry. Like, the only shot that actually did somewhat look impressive was like the shot towards the end where it's in like the seedy underground club, and where I was like, whoa, you've literally got like 10 puppets and you got like about 25 people all in this one scene just for this one dumb joke. And I'm like, that's what this should be really about. I often say that you can't really make a bad puppet show. There's always going to be something in there, you have to put in effort. You can't make a lazy puppet anything.
Yeah.
And every time, no matter what you look at, even things like Mr. Meaty, which is a disturbing puppet show, there was actual effort that went into that. This, I'm kind of starting to doubt my own things in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, really disappointed. That's one scratch off the list. 2 more films left to see this year.
I'm just gonna watch The Labyrinth instead.
Watch Labyrinth, which they are remaking.
Oh,
Disney's remaking that for some daft reason.
You can't.
But they will, because they know you like it.
It won't even touch on
Well, they're going to remake Alien 9. Everyone's favourite anime, Alien 9. Come on, Ace, you know about Alien 9.
They will do Alien 9.
No, they won't.
They will.
They won't. I only got to show you a screenshot of Alien 9 and you'll be like, nope. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
I can't remember if I've seen Alien 9.
You probably haven't, because no one's seen Alien 9.
I've seen a lot of weird anime that I can't even remember the name of half of them. There was one involving a spaceship.
We're not talking about Donna and the Franks now, yeah?
I was talking about good weird anime,
Oh, okay.
not trash.
Well, we're all looking forward to FLCL 2 and 3,
Oh yeah,
which you should be hyped for.
I am.
No, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the audience.
The original Foolie Coolie is one of my favourites.
It's one of the best. Can't say it enough. Anyway, let's move on to our final trailer, which is going to be the pushed back film Mowgli.
Yeah, Mowgli, yeah.
We might as well call it Mowgli if they're going to, because they're making such a massive song and dance about how it's so accurate to the story, and given how it's actually Mowgli, not Mowgli, might as well call it Mowgli, I guess, as soon as it's so much more superior than any other version you've seen of
so
the Jungle
close
Book.
to the book.
So close. It's so good.
You can see the paper in this film.
Yeah, as we kind of hinted at before, this film was originally pushed back because of Disney's Jungle Book, because they were scared, because they knew they would make no money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really blame them. But still, we finally got the trailer for it, and this film is coming out in December. I can tell you that much, because they are working on this film as we speak.
Yeah. I think some of the quality was a bit off in some places.
I was
just a little.
I was like, not sure if this is realistic or a cartoon. It literally, I think I put it down in my original notes. It feels like the people in the CGI room had a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like there was a disagreement and they still haven't resolved it.
I mean, I still couldn't believe that shot in the trailer of Mowgli just climbing around the big green set. So confused.
Wait, have you been watching the behind the scenes of the Jungle Book 2015?
Maybe that was it.
Because that's hilarious. Just go look up the clip where instead of like Shere Khan jumping out and scaring Mowgli, it's like Jon Favreau.
I've seen it.
That's maybe the funniest thing you'll see.
I think.
Props to Jon Favreau for doing that kind of stuff. Like, seriously, no matter what happens to Lion King, he's going to put in some effort and there's going to be some funness happening with that film.
Yeah.
But this film, we are actually struggling to talk about it because...
The weirdest thing for me was, I can't remember if this was this trailer we've linked or a different one, but the one where Andy Serkis, like, comments.
Yeah, he's doing commentary on the scenes from the trailer.
And I was like, why is that a thing?
That's in the description. I downloaded the link because you need to see that.
I was so confused.
Watch the trailer, then watch this, because you're not going to know what's going on. I don't even know what character he's playing.
I think he's the CG.
But he's just the embodiment of CGI.
Like,
Andy Serkis has like truly risen to that point in life.
We're gonna have to create serial experiments circus.
Serious Famous Circus, or like Andy Serkis literally now some form of lawnmower man now.
Yeah.
That's Lawnmower 3 right there.
Oh, yeah.
He is literally like digital fiction that can be generated and created.
The Lawnmower Man 3. Run to the circus.
Run to Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. He's the new Lawnmower Man. That's that. Okay. We need to make some calls. We need to hurry up this podcast.
We have $1 billion
idea. Let's go, guys. Well, let's wrap up talking about this trailer that we can't wait for. The CGI is so unfinished right now. Like, there was points where I was like, okay, forgetting it. The panther looks fine.
Mm.
The monkeys look fine. And then you get the car and you're like, nope, no.
I thought it was still loading.
You double checked your YouTube bar to make sure that it wasn't actually on 240p. I don't know what was going on with that design, but that looked ugly.
I thought I was playing a game and the textures hadn't popped in yet.
Oh god, that was rough.
Oh.
That's hence why I said they were having an argument in CGI room, because in Andy Serkis' commentary, he was talking about how they need to look more like the actors and and more realistic, and I was like, who the hell is playing the snake? Because that is not a face I recognize. The panther looks like Christian Bale.
That's Ralph Fiennes.
Oh no.
Voldemort. He's come back.
Oh no. I mean, there were some shots I like. I liked all the stuff with like the actual kid playing like Mowgli.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of the original film and like Tarzan, the new Tarzan that came out, which suspiciously made a lot of money.
I can't.
It was just like Legend of Tarzan or something.
Was that the one in 2000?
It's like 2015 or 14. It was quite recent. It was like some dramatic version of Tarzan, but he was like back in normal day London after they found him.
Interesting. I can't remember this. I remember we talked about a Tarzan trailer.
I don't.
And I think it had Samuel Jackson in it and John Goodman. I think.
No, that's Kong Skull Islands.
No, I know that, but they were also in the Tarzan film. And there was like a scene with like rhinos, I think. I can't remember.
No, I think you might be. Were you rewatching Jumanji again or something?
No.
This is dead air now.
It definitely had Samuel Jackson in it.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to look up his wiki.
Yeah.
After this, but yeah, I'm disappointed. I like all the shots with the kids playing Mowgli. I like the fact that he's just like running around and jumping, and it looks like he's gonna get punched in the face. That's how rough this film looks. That stuff is kind of impressive because that takes guts.
It does.
To play a role like that.
To play a role in which you get punched in the face repeatedly due to the amount of takes.
No, just a role, just be rolling around on wherever they're filming. Even with the kid who was in the previous film, that kid must have been having so much fun. Like if you see the special features, when he gets carried off by the monkeys, just a bunch of guys and greasers, and he's like, go, just carries him off. Stuff like that is great, and they're just like poking like makeshift like animal faces in front of him and stuff like that. And then obviously Jon Favreau pops out of the grass.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to stop singing George of the Jungle if I was that kid.
That's one thing I forgot. There's going to be no songs in this one, which is massively going to hinder the film, because everyone loves the songs from the original Jungle Book. Jungle Book is still one of the most successful films Disney has ever made, weirdly enough. That's why we had the spin-off Tailspin.
I didn't know that was a spin-off.
Yeah, that's the spin-off of Jungle Book.
I should have guessed by the name Spin.
Yeah, it also has one of the most annoying cartoon characters of all time in it, but that's for another video.
Okay.
That's that's the weirdest one, because you see obviously with like DuckTales, obviously everyone knows Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck and all that, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Magnum PI, and Sherlock Holmes, I guess you could say, that kind of stuff. Knight Rider, I guess, that kind of detective stuff, and then Darkwing Duck's basically Batman.
Yeah.
And then you have Tailspin, the spin-off of Jungle Book, where Baloo and King Louie fly a plane.
Genius.
It is genius. It is. No, it is. We're gonna watch some Tailspin after this podcast.
I'm never watching You'll have to Clockwork Orange me to watch that film.
Well, so be it. Anything else we need to say about Mowgli?
Every time I hear Mowgli, I just think ugly, and that's not good marketing.
Well, you need to speak to the original author about that, or his daughter.
Maybe that's why they changed the name to, like, Mowgli.
No, they didn't change the name, they just pronounced it wrong.
Maybe that's why they pronounced it wrong, because they kept thinking ugly.
No, apparently the daughter of the author of the original story still holds a grudge with Disney, because they pronounced it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was really upset that they pronounced it wrong. It's kind of like how it's actually Jekyll, not Jekyll. But everyone says Jekyll.
And how it's Voldemort, despite J.K. Rowling now saying it's Voldemort, because she's a pretentious idiot.
Well, we now need to go and re-release some books and remake the films and do... J.K., why don't you do a dub?
Oh, it's funny. I actually saw an interview where she says Voldemort, so she's just lying. Out of
When
her
is she
drunk
not
face.
lying, Ace?
When she's being a turf, that's when she's not lying.
Oh dear. If I were her, I would shut her mouth, because the sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is coming out pretty soon. That's all I can really say. And on that note, let's talk about our video of the episode, which actually has some effort and doesn't have any spite in it. And that is going to be HONNE with Me and You, which is a pretty, like, it's a weirdly, like, electronic, like, funky track that I don't know where this artist came from. I just found out about randomly. Really old school music video. It's really feel good. And I think with the summer that we're kind of experiencing right now, I think the song just hits the right kind of notes. And I think everyone who's dancing the video is having a good time, and the kids are adorable because they're like, oh, yeah, we're doing dancing and all that.
Start your summer right with this song.
Yeah, I think so. Quite a few summer songs we featured on this podcast, I think.
I think we're getting into the beach groove.
Possibly. Next podcast is going to be an interesting one, because we are going to be talking about some of our favorites of 2018 so far.
Okay.
So start thinking, guys, about some of the things that you've really enjoyed so far this year, and some of the things you haven't. And I know there's plenty on both sides. I wonder what Raccoon is going to talk about in terms of things he did not enjoy. Could it be an anime series that he keeps harping on about? I don't know. Maybe Raccoon has already written that section of said podcast. Wow. I don't know. You might have to find out on the next podcast. Anything you want to add to that, Ace?
Yeah, I think on the next podcast I might be talking about a certain show that rhymes with Hypton. I'm being very subtle here.
Oh dear.
So yeah, look forward to me trashing that.
Uh-oh.
Because I feel like I wasted 10 episodes and only once got to see Doomsday and Brainiac. So fuck that.
Ooh. Less subtle foreshadowing in a DC film, I think.
Show.
Nothing else?
Not that I can... Oh yeah, more Detroit Become Human next time.
Yeah, we might as well tease that, I guess. If that's all, then I'll end this podcast like I always do by saying I am the Younger Raccoon.
I am Ace.
And we will see you on the next podcast, which will be episode 90, which, getting close to them triple digits. Alright, laters, guys.